Everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Mandy and I'm here to play with some new makeup. Not all of this is new to the market, but all of it is new to me. So we are going to jump right in. I am going to mention the SPF I have on today. It is new to me. It's the first day that I have worn it. This was sent to me from 8th Day Skincare and it is their priming moisturizer SPF 30. I use this as an SPF only, so I used 5 pumps of this on my face today. It does have a little bit of a tint to it, but it's only enough of a tint to ensure that it doesn't leave a white cast because it is a zinc-based mineral sunscreen. I do not want to like this because it is so expensive. It's $140 for 1 fluid ounce. Now, it does claim to have a lot of skincare ingredients in it other than the SPF protection. And I will say the packaging is very luxe, has a very nice pump, and I will say that it went on very nicely. I just don't want to love it, but so far I am enjoying it. So let's start off with foundation. This is probably the least new thing that I'm gonna be talking about as far as how long I've had it, because I have had it a couple of months, but I don't know that I have talked about it on camera. This is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Gel Tint. I love this stuff. I'll go ahead and say. Some of the stuff I'm gonna try today I haven't used yet. I have used this and I love it. I'm in the shade number 6 and it is a gel formula. I did post a comparison on one of my social media channels with the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue because that's another gel formula kind of skin tint that I have where I did one on one side and one on the other. And I will say there wasn't a huge difference. This one might have a tad bit more coverage once it's all said and done, but it's not that much different. So if you like the Bare Minerals, you're gonna like this, but if you have the Bare Minerals, I don't know that you necessarily need this. I love the color. I apply it with a brush, but I have applied it with my fingers before and it's worked great. I love applying the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue with my fingers. It's super long lasting. I wore it yesterday for a very, very long day. I mean, I had some early morning clients. I did my makeup at 5:30 in the morning and I don't think I washed my face until 8:30 at night and it still looked good. It is very dewy. I always mattify my complexion products with powder. If you don't like using powder, then this is the amount of dew that you're looking at, which is more than what I had when I just had my SPF on. For concealer, I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer. This is another prime example of a new product that literally goes viral on social media that I wait to purchase. That's what I did. I did not jump on this. A lot of times when things go viral, it makes me think, is it really that good? It shouldn't make me think that, but it does. So I waited and I got this. I do like it. It's not my favorite. I have the shade 3C and I'm really glad I didn't get any of the 2 shades because this one is exactly what I wanted, if not a little lighter than I wanted, but I really don't like a bright concealer. So it's pretty perfect, honestly, the 3C. I'm glad I chose this color. I'm gonna try it as an all over foundation. You don't need much. It is not super hydrating on me, but it's not extra drying either. I do set it with a powder because I set all my concealers with one. So I can't say how this works without that, but so far I'm liking it. Again, it's not in my probably top 3, but maybe it might, you know, work its way up into my top 5. And I usually skip over the part where I set my under eyes with my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening, but I did get a new brush in my last MAC haul. This is the MAC 240S, and I have really been enjoying using this to set my under eyes because it is big enough and fluffy enough to give the just perfect amount of powder that I like under my eyes because you don't need much, but I need something. And I just lightly pat the powder on top of that concealer. Okay, I do have a couple of cream products before I set down with powder. I got this just a couple of weeks ago. This is the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer, but it's in the new shade Bronze. And I did not get this to use as a bronzer. I was watching one of the Dior master classes, which if y'all don't know, if you go, actually a lot of luxury websites do this. If you go to the Dior's website and search masterclass, it'll come up with a ton of videos that they have their artists do showcasing their products. Cicely does it as well. I feel like another one does it. But anyways, I saw this being used in a masterclass like I'm using it today. And I was like, I want to try that. And I'm really glad I did, because it's a different way for me to use highlighter. And I just take, it comes in a pretty large doe foot, and I really put it where I normally put highlighter. And then I'm taking the BK-N17 and kind of stippling that in. I go up on my temples, a little bit down my cheeks. It could definitely serve as a blush. I'm gonna add another one on top, but I'm kind of having it as highlight, bronzer, and blush in one, because it definitely can be that. And by the time I put my blush and my powder and any other bronzer on top, it really just shines through like a very natural highlight. And using the amount I use, it's gonna last forever. I need to try this on the eyes. I feel like it'd be really pretty on the eyes. But I'm not gonna do that today because I have too many other things to talk about. But so far, I'm really enjoying using it this way. And hopefully it'll come through why once I'm done with everything. LYS sent me over a few products, and one of them is their Higher Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush in the shade Kindness. This is it right here. Really pretty peachy shade. I chose this shade because I knew I didn't need another pink. I need to venture out. I have been doing nothing but pinks lately. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick a peach color, and I really think this is very pretty. We're gonna see how it works. I'm gonna use my BK A101. Pretty color, but I'm gonna tap some off on my hand because I don't want too much pigment. And then I'm gonna go a little below where I put that bronzy highlight. That's a really pretty color. Everything I have tried from this brand so far I have loved, so I figured I would like this, and I really like how it applied, how it blended. The color, I'll have to obviously wait to see how the wear is. Now, I'm going to set lightly down the center of my face with my Fit Glow. See how that just like transformed the center of my face? If you want a very lightweight mattifying powder, I'm telling you, you will not find one that wears better than this one. I wore this with the Milk yesterday. And when I say the client's Airbnb that I went to, it was hot, y'all. It was hot, and it wasn't even hot outside, but it was hot. And when I have my makeup light and everything, I was sweating by the time I left there, and my makeup was still very much intact. For the rest of my face, I am going to be trying out the LYS Triple Fix Translucent Setting Powder in Translucent. They do have shades. I chose Translucent, so this is what it looks like. And I have been liking using my G Beauty. This is the base brush, which I have typically used with their skin tint, but I've been liking using this with powder. So I'm gonna try it with this one. It works really well with the Givenchy powder. Just put some powder on, and then I'm just basically gonna put it right here, and then on my forehead where I didn't put the Fit Glow. I'm gonna keep that highlight for now. If I feel like at the end it's too much, then I'll go back and kind of powder that down too. I did an Instagram reel and a YouTube short on this product, and another one that I'm going to showcase has become a very quick favorite. It will be in this month's favorite. This is the new Dolce & Gabbana Face and Eyes Match Lasting Bronzer and Eyeshadow Powder. I got the shade light medium. First of all, this is an extremely luxe, very heavy packaging. This is the shade. I've used it so much you can barely even see the DG imprint anymore. I love this shade. It is exactly what I wanted out of a bronzer. I feel like it was missing in my collection. It is a matte bronzer. It's light on the skin, but you can tell it's there. I can build it up if I want to. It's not too warm, but it also doesn't look muddy. And I've really been focusing it most on my forehead and my neck, and then I'll just take a light dusting on the cheek because I already have that Dior bronze shade. I have the blush color. I feel like because the bronzer isn't too dark, I don't need to balance the rest of my face with it, so I feel like I can use less. So good. Love it as an eyeshadow too. I haven't quite decided what I'm doing for eyeshadow today, but I might use it on my eyes as well. And I guess we have to figure that out now because that's it for the base. I am going to do lips before we do eyeshadow because I feel like I need something on my lips. I wore this, was it in that same? Yeah, it was in that same reel, and I had it on in my Jane Iredale foundation review. This was sent over to me by Fave, and it's a lip liner lip oil combo. So this is their modern lip definer in Velvet Sands, which is a very pretty nude. It's a warm nude. You can see right there. It has a little bit of peachiness in it. Very, very smooth on the lips. And then the lip oil or lip dew glossy lip oil in Pesca, which I know Pesca is something she has as a color in her blushes as well. And this is also like a warm nudie peach shade. Liking those two because I can't tell you how comfortable that is. All right, let's decide what we're gonna do on the eyes. I did want to showcase this because it launched today, and I think it might be my favorite palette that this brand has launched yet. If you've watched my channel for the past few years, especially when I talked more about bigger palettes, Sigma makes some of the best eyeshadows in my opinion, as far as longevity and pigment. And they just launched the Sigma Spectrum palette, which has 20 shades in it. This is it right here. 16 of them are matte, so these first 4 are matte, and then it has a row of like glitter shades. And that is the only thing that I will say I don't love about this. I kind of wish those top shades were their shimmer shades, which I love because these are very glittery. Now they don't have fallout on me, so that's definitely a plus, but they are definitely heavier in glitter than the Sigma shimmer shades. But as far as the mattes go, I mean, you really don't need another matte shade. They don't have a matte black, but this peppercorn shade is like the brownest black you're gonna find, basically. Has a really pretty olive green shade. It's got warm shades, it's got cool shades, it's just got everything you need. But I really also wanna showcase this. So I'm gonna start out with this. Again, I did post this on Shorts, so you can go back and look on my YouTube Shorts or on Instagram to see this, but I have been for the past 4 days using this in the crease with a Victoria Beckham liner smudged out, and then one of the other products I'm going to show you on the lower lash line, and that's been my eye look. This is the transition shade, as flipping dramatic as it's going to sound, that I had literally been searching for forever. It's just light enough, it's just neutral enough, it's just buildable enough, and it can stay on its own as just that, or it can act as a transition shade for more shades to go on top, which I think I'm gonna do today just so I can showcase a couple of the Sigma shades. And I'm gonna use my, this is, I think the Bobo Dough I-17 because of how tapered it gets. And I'm gonna choose this shade right in the middle, Homemade. And I'm just gonna try to put that really tapered into the crease right here and really only on the like outer half. And then just take that same blending brush, kind of blend it out. I'm gonna take a Sigma E54 medium sweeper and go into Honeysuckle, just kind of this gold glitter shade. I'm just gonna do a wash of it. I really don't want a ton on the eye, but just so that when I turn my head, it catches the light and has a little bit of a shimmer. And then I am gonna use the same Victoria Beckham pencil that I've been using because I love it. This is in the shade, is it Jeans or Jeans? So it's their matte denim blue shade. And this is the one I have been using when I just used the Dolce & Gabbana in the crease, and just smudge that out. And then on the lower lash line, I'm gonna use this. This is the Dolce & Gabbana Cheek and Eyes Match Lasting Blush and Eyeshadow Color. I got the shade Hopeful Rose. Very pretty on the cheeks. I used it on the cheeks in that reel, but I'm gonna use it on the eyes here because it is a cheek and eye product. So I'm gonna use my Refer 13, and this is gonna be my lower lash line color. Just to give a pop of color to the eyes in addition to that blue, and I just feel like the shades really go well together. And it's also a way that I can use it and showcase it for y'all since this is meant to go on the cheeks and the eyes. Before I do mascara, I'm going to use the new RMS Radiance Lock Setting Mist. They sent this over to me and it comes in a full size and a travel size. The full size is 100 ml, and this is an alcohol-free radiance enhancing setting spray that locks in and prolongs makeup wear without feeling sticky. Lots of skincare ingredients, 97% naturally derived. It does have a nice mist, but it could probably be a little bit finer for my taste, but it smells nice. To be quite honest, I don't really have the type of skin that requires a setting mist, but I have been using this to test it out and I enjoy it. Now let's talk about mascara. This one came as a free sample in my last MAC order, and it is the macstack Elevated Mascara. So I have used the macstack before on camera and I love it. I have it in the shade brown. It's chestnut, I think. So this one is an argan oil infused formula that delivers 165% instant lash lift for a separated and defined lash look with a 36-hour wear. I don't wear my mascara for 36 hours, so I won't be testing that part out. It says it's sweat and humidity proof, fade and smudge proof, flake resistant, and clump proof. I will be testing that out, and I will also be testing out how easy it is to remove, and I will put that information down in the description box. It does have a curved wand, which the regular macstack is more of like a cone-shaped wand, and this one seems to have more natural bristles where the other has plastic. So we shall see. I'm not going to use any kind of primer, and I'll do 2 coats of this. Okay, that is 2 coats. To me, upon very first impression of applying this, the main difference is this is way fluffier as far as results go than the original macstack. When I use the original macstack, it is like, boom, there's your lashes. That's the first thing you see. This, it's just like a very fluffy, almost wispier lash comparatively. But again, I will be putting down my notes in the description box, so check that out. And then the final thing that I have been doing a lot lately is using the Swede Satin Kohl eyeliner in the shade Bright on my bottom waterline. If you haven't checked out my full face of Swede, definitely do that because I really, really enjoy this brand. But I have been using that every day. So that's it. That is a full face of new makeup. Oh my word, if I had to pick my favorites. There's nothing I don't like out of all of the things that I tried, honestly. Oh, my top 3 favorites, if I had to pick, definitely the Dolce & Gabbana face and eye powder, the Milk gel tint, and probably the Dior bronze glow. But honestly, I didn't try anything I didn't like. So I will have everything I use listed and linked below per usual down in the description box. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank y'all so much for watching. I will see you in my next video, and I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.